You guys, this is my future self introducing this video. I just have to get, I have fell off, and I do apologize for so long trying to get back on to the horse. This video, it's a short video, but I just said, that's my problem. I'm trying to do all these elaborate videos, and it's not working. I'm a procrastinator, so it really doesn't work. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to film today. Actually, this is a video of me going to getting, I don't show the inside of my dentist, but just talking about, healthcare, dentist, and expenses. This video also, I take you, we're going to Ross, and then also I will, Friday, which is the day I'm taking you to CAM, which is a contemporary art museum. Some of you may know that I am an aspiring artist. I love art. I'm dabbling into it. Haven't made a lot of time as I've wanted to, but I bring you a little bit into my world on that end. So enjoy. Like I said, it's a short video. All right, but enjoy. And again, I apologize for being away from you for so long. A wonderful Thursday. I just came from my dentist. I'm getting my teeth worked on. So today we did a 3D exam, and they're trying to see if I could actually get implants. So I'm trying to get 2 on this side and 1 on this side. So hopefully my bone structure or what have you, everything looks healthy enough for that to happen. They're going to call me and let me know. I tell you, healthcare is so expensive. I tell you, it took less than 30 seconds for her to take that 3D picture with an x-ray, and I tell you, I spent over $200. Then I had an unpaid balance, so I spent almost $300 something just going to the dentist today to just get an x-ray. It's just, healthcare is just expensive. It's just more and more expensive in the States. It's fees on top of fees and on top of fees. I just found out too that I had I did not a biopsy, but it was just more of like a 3D mammogram, and a while back, and they called me today and said, oh, you have an outstanding balance, your insurance paid all this money. I mean, they paid thousands of dollars, and they still say, oh, it's hospital fees and doctor's fees. So they just find fees to just charge you, so you're paying your insurance every month. Your insurance covers pretty much very good insurance. I have Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I work for the government. It's really good. But even with all that, they still come up with all these fees. I said, consumerism and consumer protections are getting less and less. People are charging whatever the hell they want to charge, and you just, stuck with the bill. You have to pay it in order to move forward and get things done. So it's just, again, that was just for an exam. That's more preventative. And I still have to come out of $500. And I could have sworn I paid a they said, oh, that's co-payments and this. But I paid a co-payment the day of. So it's like they pay your co-payment, pre-co-payment, post-co-payment, and then the hospital bills. And it's just kind of frustrating. It makes me feel like when I do retire, I'm going to get as far away from America as I can. I'm going to do a lot of traveling and live in other countries where the healthcare cost of living is just a fraction of what we spend here, because it's getting worse and worse in America. And I see why a lot of people have already left. It's just so expensive. It's ridiculous. And like I said, it's capitalistic. I don't think capitalism works for us. Anyway, not to get in, it's not even about politics. It's about just simply living in our democracy. They want to make everything political. It's not political. I'm not speaking political. I'm just speaking simply. It's like, who is protecting Americans? Who's really protecting us? We have no protective rights anymore of anything. So anyway, I'm here at Ross. You guys know that I finally got my floor done. Yay. I finally got all of my new appliances in my kitchen. So I'm on my way. But what do you do, I'm learning. Stop complaining. Stop whining. And just do it. You got to get it done. So I got my kitchen floor done. I finally got maybe I'll put insert the picture. I finally got my, all of my appliances there installed in my kitchen. Now it's moving forward and getting some other things done. So I'm thinking about painting, and just, like I said, just giving my home kind of freshening up, No major walls or anything. It's just simply fresh paint, some new things. I'm gonna redesign, decorate my restroom. I'm just putting a new faucet in there and some gold appliances, faucet and shower, and I may just spray paint the little existing towel holder. So nothing real major, but I do want to get a new cabinet, and then new fixtures. And I already got the restroom, the bathtub reglazed. And so it's going to be simple, and I'm going to probably paint it a nice, pretty green. I'm going with greens and mints and things like that. At least that's what I think. So I'm going to take you into Ross's, and just still looking for, I have some little couches that I'm going to, I'm thinking about just hand dyeing those, like in a pretty green, versus trying to get new couches, because that can be very expensive. I mean, I saw couches that I love them online, and they were $1,000 a piece. And I don't mean the big couches. I mean just a little seat, one-seaters. And I'm like, oh my God, everything is just so high. So let me go in here and just kind of get some ideas. If anything, I just love Ross. Ross is known for their furniture and their decor, and it's just, I like it. It's a lot of little gems and surprises. I'll take you along. I have this new obsession for tennis shoes, you guys. So I know this is not furniture, but I always like to look and sneak and look at their tennis shoes. They really didn't have a lot of furniture, but it was fun just watching. I saw some nice items I would love to get for my living room. I tell you, these candles smelled so good. I have enough candles, but they smell so good. This area, I could just stay there all day. I'm not a really big designer person, but that is so cute. Very unique. I'm just trying to look for different items, accessories to place into my living room to just give it more pop and dimension. I love these, what they call them, fake plants. You don't have to water them. And look at these mugs, Halloween already. It's too early. It's so funny. I was just looking for food storage, and this is what I need right here. I had the hardest time finding them. This reminds me of a Rembrandt or some type of famous artist. You guys, check out my video when I actually visited the MoMA in New York. This reminds me of a painting my mom did years ago. She sold it. When I see stuff like that, I think about her. She used to love landscapes and unique things. You guys, happy Friday. I'm here at the CAM, and I like to come by sometimes on Fridays. Get inspired. Contemporary Art Museum. So I'll show you some pieces. I like this collage. This is the light water exhibit. Lots of collages and some porcelain clay structures, beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's see what it's about. This like water exhibit made me think about how water has its good uses and how it has its bad uses and floods with climate change. We need water to survive, right? But sometimes also water, sociologically speaking, how it's unclean in certain areas depending on your neighborhood and community. I also talked to the guide and attendee. She's an artist also, Chanel. Shout out to her, but she hit me to fabric artist Basil Kincaid, who's from St. Louis. I missed his exhibit, but I am going to try and look him up and see if he has any other exhibits. Happy Friday. I was going to the Pulitzer also, but they're all closed. So, but that was nice. I actually was connected with another fabric artist. I missed his exhibit, but I have his name, and so that was good. He's actually exhibiting, I believe, in Miami, but he's a fiber artist from St. Louis. Focuses on ancestry and legacy. Information, as some of you may know, I do like to quilt. Hold on. As some of you may know, I'm an aspiring artist. I enjoy art. I love being a spectator. My mother was an artist, but I have started quilting back in 2017. I haven't done as much work as I would like to do. I have finished some quilts, but I'm really kind of venturing off. I want to spend more time with it. I want to take up some other art classes to be inspirational, because I consider myself, I'm a wannabe. Well, I'm an artist. I believe that I am an artist. I just don't put the time in, I don't put the time in. And so I have a lot of creative energies that I've not really tapped into like I want to. So part of me renovating my apartment too is that, just kind of tapping into my creativity, but also really getting more, just doing more art and taking more classes. And it's something that, it's a hobby / maybe aspiring new career one day. I don't know. As I transition out of social work one day, it'd be nice. I don't know. I just, but all I know is that, I as a matter of fact, I'm on my way to stop at the Craft Alliance because they actually offer pottery classes. So I'm thinking about, well, I know I want to take a class. It's just a matter of what they have to offer. And, so I want to look at other, medias of art, and just tap into it, just get deeper into my fabric art and go beyond just quilting, but actually, just really going further with it and spending more time. But so many things that I'm trying to decide on. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about, I think it's 2 different topics. Maybe I'll save one for another time because I don't want to just be overwhelming with a bunch of topics. So, but one I was thinking about was just a simple one. I was reading in social media the other evening about how men, particularly black men, hate black women. Well, not all, but some women are in relationships where they're being hated. I don't know. I don't think it's just a color race thing. I think it's just in general that sometimes women end up in relationships where they're really hated by the man. And I'm speaking of, heterosexual relationships. And I just wanted to just kind of tap into that. Have any of you been in relationships? I think we all can say at one point, once you reach a certain age, that you've been in relationships where you felt like, wow, question that maybe this person really just didn't like me, but you continued on the relationship. I can say that I've experienced that myself. Anyway, this particular, maybe I can try to insert the information about this particular person. or these people, this particular page or review, they just talked about, it was a POV, I think. And they were just talking about women, talking about, if your man does this or that, that's a sign that he hates you. It was just really, it was just kind of interesting, kind of sad too. And it kind of made me reflect, even times that I was in relationships where, I really have to question and look back and say, yeah, I think there was a level of jealousy, hate, discontent, and things like that. I think it happens to the best of us. I think it happens to men too, but I'm speaking from a woman's perspective because that's what I am and my experience and what I saw. But one thing I just wanted to say about relationships where you look back and you feel that you were hated, and you experienced that, I'm sorry, first of all, that's happened to you. You deserve better. I believe you. I believe that happens. People are in relationships you don't know. You think, oh, I love this I'm going to love this person to love me, and it just doesn't turn out that way. And sometimes it can even borderline or become abusive physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. All of those things. People find themselves, in relationships. Sometimes they have multiple relationships. They go from one relationship, they go to the next relationship. It's like, all my relationships have been with people that have hated me. And I wanted to say about, you can't always control what other people do, but you can control what you do. And the thing that I can say about that is that, again, I'm sorry that's happened to you. That's a horrible experience. But life is about experiences. It is not, the experiences is how we deal with them so that we can learn something about ourselves. And one of the things that I think, and I commented on even, is that, maybe part of that, not to victim blame, but to also look at your decisions that you make and the reasons why you're picking people or men that hate you or show this hateful, behavior. Like, what part are you playing in, not necessarily attracting, but sometimes staying in relationships when you recognize it, and also more than importantly, recognizing in yourself. Because it's one time you get into a relationship and this happens to you. But if you pick a relationship and it happens to you, over and over again, it's something to be learned about. It's an opportunity to learn something about yourself. Because sometimes we pick people, we may pass up, be more attracted to people that we have to win over. I know for me, in my past, in my relationships, I've had, not having my father growing up, I think that it did impact me of my relationships with men. Maybe sometimes I've had relationships where I've tried to make up for that loss by staying in a relationship that wasn't good, and maybe trying to make that person love me or get to a bit different level. And maybe I did subconsciously feel that I was making up for what I didn't receive in my childhood, And sometimes we do that with our trauma. We have trauma, we don't realize it. We're traumatized, especially as women. If you, didn't grow up, with or maybe your father was, snatched away, they died, or there was a divorce or something happened to where that relationship was severed, it impacts the way that you perceive yourself and how you behave. And so I think that sometimes getting therapy, and I'm not plugging in Better Health or any of Headway or anything. This is just simply, just to encourage people to get therapy. Take time out in between relationships. If you're experiencing something like that, and if you decide to leave that relationship, make sure you take time with yourself and really see, get some therapy and really, see, have some talk therapy to see what part did you play, why you chose that person and what signs you saw, what made you stay as long as you did. Sometimes we stay longer than we should. Sometimes we pick a person, all the flags are there, we still pick that person, and we're constantly trying to make the relationship better when it's not really trying. You can't control another person. The only person you can control is yourself. Well, sometimes just taking time to look within yourself to see, okay, why did I pick this person? Why did I stay? What was it about them, and really doing a deep dive so that you can see what errors and mistake you made in choosing this person. Sometimes you don't know, you really don't know. But then sometimes you see it and you experience it and you do get to know and you still stay in it. Because I know I've been there, done that. It's like, why did I stay as long? What made me, try to continue to work on something that was already dead? Or why didn't I have a threshold to have stronger boundaries to see, okay, this person is abusive, get out of the relationship? What made me stay? And how can I, as I move forward, what do I want? How can I change this? How can I change my behavior? What is my attitude? What has been my experiences? What, I call it self-accountability and self-awareness. Again, you can't control the other person, but you can control yourself, right? And, and plus it's empowering, right? So that was it. I just wanted to say that, that again, I'm sorry that's happened. If it's happened to you, it's happened to the best of us. And, and it doesn't matter how old you are, it can happen. You could be really, really a very mentally healthy person, have a wonderful therapist, and still fall into these relationships that are not healthy for you. It's not your fault, but you still can always take accountability on your part in falling into those relationships. And that's it. It's not a, put down anything. It's just to lift up, to empower you. I like to empower people, not shame them. Because like I said, I've been there and done that. Probably several times. I'm not going to lie. I'm older now. I can look at things more objectively. But when I was young, I didn't see it at all. So I wish someone would have told me this earlier. Anyway, hope you guys are having a wonderful day, a wonderful Friday. And hope you're having hope you to have a wonderful weekend. I'm just going back home. I'm fiddle-faddling around here thinking I'm gonna either go to the gym and work out, or I gotta get my grass cut, get some weeds cut down. So I'm trying to decide on which way I'm going with this today, or if I'm gonna take a nice walk. I don't know. Above, I may check all it above. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. I'll talk to you later. And I'll bring you along. After I figure out what I had to pull over because my car started to run hot, and I'm just letting it cool down and getting home until I can, get it to mechanic. Get it to a mechanic probably tomorrow, next week. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to get it somewhere and get some, that they can address it long enough for where until I can get it to my dealer. Anyway, that's what's going on. But, I'm just being responsible and just kind of waiting a few minutes. I'm probably going to sit here for another, 5 or 10 minutes. I'm just kind of waiting to let it cool down a little bit. I'm not that far away from home, so just going to get home and park it. All right, you guys. I'm not going to wrap this. I don't know. I've been out for so long, I just feel bad for wrapping everything up until the next video. But, I need to try and get my videos out. So I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap this one up, put it out. And that way, and then tomorrow I can start another one later on. Anyway, because I've been filming, but I haven't been really posting anything. And I've not been really editing. I've just kind of been, doing some shorts. If you guys keep up with me, but I'm trying to get back into filming again. I fall away. That's what you fall down, you just get on back up. Ouch. So, and if you are aspiring YouTubers, know that there's going to be a lot of falls and some people are just really good. I'm not one of them. I'm just not one of them. I work every day. It's an excuse. I'm not a spring chicken. And I got a lot of other oars in the fire. So anyway, I'm going to end this video at this point. I'll get home and everything. You'll see me at the next video, see kind of what happened. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.